Well, good morning, my YouTube family. Tim with Outdoors for Adventure. Today, we're going to do some maintenance on the Nissan Titan. We're going to do an oil change, and we're going to replace these headlights. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is all messed up, and they're actually starting to get cracks and stuff through here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Oh, there's cracks all in here, dullness. They're all chipped up. But before I did that, I have used that stuff that's supposed to shine them up, and it worked for a little while, and then they went right back to that. And this one here was worse than it is now, but I actually lightly sanded it, cleaned it, and I sprayed some clear polyurethane on it. Got a little heavy right here. You can actually see maybe you can see the runs right there. But I just did this the other day just to see if it worked, and it did make it look a little better, but I don't know how long it'll last. I've seen polyurethanes out in the sun turn yellow before, so I don't know if this one would. But we're going to take them out. I got a little bit different style coming, and we're going to add some black. This housing here is going to be black. They're supposed to be here later today. This is also going to be orange instead of clear. Add a little more color. So to get those lights out, I'm actually going to have to pull this grill completely out of the truck, and I have done that with y'all before when I put this bumper on. So if y'all want to go back and watch that video, you can see the complete removal of the grill. I'll just kind of, when I start doing it, I'll just kind of point out what you have to remove, but I'm not going to record the whole thing, and I'm going to concentrate on more when it comes time to taking the lights out. What you got to do to get these bad boys out and hook back up. Now I'm going to use the original bulbs. My high beams are hardly ever used, so they're still good, and my low beams are still working. I may eventually replace them. Now I can upgrade to LEDs, but I'm choosing to stay with halogens. These things have lasted the whole time I've had this truck. I've never replaced them, so I don't see a point in upgrading to something that might not last that long. So we're going to stay halogen, and they work fine for me, and they've lasted for years. So without further ado, my next step, I'm going to go ahead and drain my oil and stuff out of the truck and get ready for the oil and stuff to get here, and the headlights will be here later, so probably tomorrow before I actually start putting them in, but I am going to go ahead and tear down and get these removed. I have also oil change on the channel. So if y'all go back into the Nissan truck maintenance playlist, you can find that video. I've changed all the differential fluids and the transfer case fluid. All that is in the Nissan Titan maintenance playlist. So later, folks. Okay, so just to recap on taking this grill out, and I've already loosened these, but there's fastener here. You take a straight slot screwdriver and you just twist it till the square lines up with that groove, and it pops off. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. And then if you go down here, I had to take the box out of the way. If I can get it in there. There's one right over here, and then there's one right over here, and the same thing on this side. Up in here, there's one right here, and like I said, I just stuck a screwdriver in there and twisted until they pop loose. And then you come up to the top, and in here, what I do is I take a screwdriver and I push this tab in, and then I pop this out. Now I've got the top loose already. There's also one down in here. It's below. You twist that one with a screwdriver, and then you go down below it and you push that tab and push out, and it'll pop out. But there's also one just like this down there, and since I have to access these lights to take them out, I'm gonna have to drop part of this flare or this fender liner so I can reach up in there and access that stuff. So I think if I'm gonna pull this, I can reach that clip from back here and not worry about breaking this little tab off, because you can go underneath the truck and you can see it. But I think since I had to pull this fender flap liner down, I'm going to access it that way. So I'll show you that when I get underneath there. But I'm going to turn my wheel where I can get to this easier. But there's like a screw here, and I'm not sure what's underneath there. I think there's a little bolt, some bolt like right there's one. But you just want it so you can pull this back and get your hand up in there. Okay, I got my grill popped loose without taking my fender liner out. But I just noticed these on here. Here, I took this one off already, but there's another one right here. So when you take that off, that opens that up. So your grill's up there. And it looks like it gives you access to your light plug right here. Okay, after you move your grill out of the way, you have to go back. I've already taken most of them out, but you take these clips, you just squeeze them together and pull them out, because you want to put them back. You want to go ahead and put them back in your grill. You'll slide them back in and then twist. This is what it looks like without one. But you'll slide it in and then twist until the tabs are up and down. Take a screwdriver and help you twist it in. It'll help you. But I'll have them in, that way when you reinstall the grill, you just have to pop it back in. So that's where I'm at on that. Okay, so I've got my grill out, and I can access this part of my lights. So I know this bolt here has to come out. We have to remove this one and this one up top, and of course we have to unplug our light. And these are 5/16. That's 5/16, and this one will be 5/16. And I still have to pull the inner fender liner to access bolts down there, but I'm not there yet. Okay, so when you unplug the lights here, you push. Okay, this is plugged in like this. Now, I've never had these unplugged. The whole time I've had this truck, I've never had to change the bulbs. But you'll push in here and then pull out. And this one was pretty tight. I had to wiggle it quite a bit before it broke loose. If you had some electrical grease, probably wouldn't hurt to put a little around there before you reinstall. But I've got these unplugged. I've got the bolt out that's right here, and I've got the bolt out at the top. Now I think all that's left is going to be from the bottom. Oh, so that washer goes up here on this, I guess. I'll put that there with the bolts. It looks like it was right on top of this. I wonder if this one's got one. I'm pretty sure it does. I can see there's a washer right there. This one's not. Oh, there it goes. I'm not sure where that washer come from. I just heard it drop, so I'm gonna have to find it. There it is. I would say it's got to be right there. but I'll find out. Huh. I picked it up and it just fell. Okay, I see the other. There's a bolt. I'll get to it from here. There's a bolt. Let's see if I can see my hand. It's right down there. You can get to that bolt from up here. Okay, so my truck may be a little different from stock, but there's a bolt. You don't have to pull the fender flare off here because you can get to this bolt from up to the bumper. It was right there, same size as the top ones. Okay, so on my truck, because I don't remember if I did anything different or not when I put this bumper in, but on this liner here, there was these two screws. One was right here at the edge of the fender, and then the other one is up in this flat part up there. And you just take that off, and then that loosens this up quite a bit. Because there's one more bolt in there. You'll move this down. See if I can wedge it behind the tire a little bit. Because I'm after one more bolt. So I got the bolt loose, and I said since I put this bumper on, I didn't have to remove my fender liner, but if you have the factory bumper, you will have to remove that. So I'm gonna go ahead and include it in this video so you'll know where the screws are at. For me, I just climbed up underneath it and I could get to it from right in here. It's right in this area. But I've got it out, and it looks like this right here. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. So, everything should be loose. And like I said, this trim piece is going to come out with it. I'm wondering if my bumper might be in the way. That's attached. Well, I don't want to break that. That is attached somehow, right here. Man, I hope I don't break it. And I did. I'll be ordering some more of them. Right there is the light. I'll be popping these bulbs out, reusing them. Yeah, we'll also be reusing these, but I may order them new too since I got to order that. I saw those online and I thought, well, I better order some. Now I know. That other one's already broke. I've glued it together before. Okay, so I've got the 10mm bolt taken loose here, and 8mm, and then 8mm or 5/16, and 8mm 5/16, and this is unplugged. Now, if you remember, when I pulled this off, I broke this on that other side. Well, on this one, this side has already been broke. I heard something rattling, and it was this, so I glued it, and so far it's been holding. So we'll see if I can get this one off without breaking it. So you need to pull as straight as possible on this. I reached in behind and pushed. So we got this one. Don't know. See, this is already broke. It's broke here, and I glued. There's the glue I glued up in here, and it's pretty good. And I ain't gonna lie, I may glue that one on. Next time the lights have to be changed, you just have to buy these two. But that wasn't that hard a job, and since I put this bumper on, I didn't have to pull my fender flares. I am going to go ahead and tighten those screws though. The truck this old, anytime you think about a few screws here and there, you just will go ahead and tighten them, make sure they're good and tight. Yeah, see that one move. That one tightened up a little. Move the wheel for that. Everything else looks pretty good. But that's pretty much the headlights out. Okay, so let's review. I used 15mm. You can use 8mm, okay? But I used 15mm here, top of the light. 15mm here over to the side of the light. And then down, if you don't have a aftermarket bumper, you're going to have to pull this fender liner off. 2 screws. You got an 8mm that you got to get here, and then on this piece here is a 10mm that you have to take out sideways. And then, like I said, reach in from behind the light and push while you're pulling it out so you don't break your little trim piece. And that's all there is to it. Of course, we unplugged it. And then the back side of the light, our parking lot wire and stuff, I imagine we'll have to, I guess it'll come on the new one. If not, we'll reuse this stuff. You know, I'm not sure how that works. And then this here's going to be one of your adjustments. You can't adjust it side to side. You can only adjust it up and down. And that's what that right there is going to be. But I am going to reuse my bulbs for now. I may upgrade my low beam shortly. You can change your bulbs without pulling the whole light out. She looks kind of funny. Nothing up there, don't she? Okay, so these are the new headlights that just came. So I'm probably going to have both hands to pull these out. Let's see here. Let me get both hands and then I'll show them to you. So there's quite a difference in these and the ones that come out. If you remember, the other ones were all just clear. And since I put the black bumper in, I wanted to add some more black. So there's a lot more black, and all this is orange. And this was orange on the factory one, but this was all clear. And then all the trim is in black. And this around this bulb here is black. So I think that's going to make the truck look a little more updated and a lot better. I'm going to leave this plastic wrap on them until I get them installed. Maybe that'll help protect them a little bit, but I'm going to carry these out there and go ahead and turn them over and swap all my bulbs and stuff into these. And while I'm at it, these are those trim pieces here that stay on the vehicle or stay on the light. This one had already been broke. I don't know if I broke it or if it had already been broken. I'd already glued this side and it has been holding all this time. So I figured, well, while I got it off, I'm gonna go ahead and just liquid nail the crap out of them. So I left them in to hold them in place, and I'm gluing them in place. And we'll see how long they hold up. Okay, so we've got the old headlight here. and a new headlight here. So basically everything that's here, these plugs, well, the bulbs, all the bulbs have to be swapped out. So that's what I'm going to do now. It's pretty much self-explanatory. You know, they just twist in, twist out, and we're just going to swap them all out. Okay, now on these bulbs here, you see the 3 prongs. I just put this one in. Now, the plug-in is going to point down, okay, which is up right now because of the way I'm looking at it, but that's the bottom of the headlight. And that's the only way this will fit in here. If you don't line these slots up with the correct ones, it won't go in. So don't get confused. Just if it ain't fitting, look at it and make sure your plug is going the right directions. If you can see, like this one is pointing down. So this one is going to have to point down, or it won't line up with these slots. Because dummy me got this when I had it over here too much, and it wouldn't fit in there. So I just twisted it on around, and that's as tight as I could twist it to clockwise to get it tied in there. I didn't want to go so tight that I thought it'd break, so it may not be completely straight up. Yeah, it's pretty close. Anyway, I just want to mention that. Everything connected here. Now, this is different on this light than on this light. And I'm sure that's the adjustment for, you know, up and down. So undoubtedly this one is just a little different. But I'm fixing to carry this over there and see what it looks like. Okay, so I've got them both in halfway. I just put in the top bolt, the front bolt, and I plugged them in. And I'm going to go turn them on and make sure everything's working before I get underneath and put those 2 bolts in. And then, as you saw earlier, I'm gluing my trim pieces back together. And if it works, I'll pop them in right here after they're dry. There's no reason why you can't pop your trim pieces in after you install your lights. They don't have to, you know, be on there first. So, and I see no reason why my liquid nails won't hold what I'm doing. But so far they look good. Now let me go turn them on. Okay, these are just parking lights that's on. All those are working. Now let's go turn the head. Now we have high beams on. And everything is working. Okay guys, as you can see, I got everything back together. Looks like a new truck. Everything works. Pretty simple installation. I pedaled around 4 or 5 hours changing my oil and taking everything apart and reinstalling everything. You know, in no hurry, and I'm happy with the results. Another cool thing about having an ice cold mounted in the back of your pickup truck is when you make your Sam's run or your grocery store run and you get ice cream, but you need to do some other running, you can put it off in there and keep it cold until you get home. So, really enjoying having this.